Hello everyone, welcome back to the shop, Ed's Metal. Ed's Metal Works, YouTube. You can find me on Google. Anyway, I thought I'd show you this little project we got going here. It's for a local organic fertilizer company. I made a few of these a couple years ago, and they requested a few more, so we're building 5 of them, and I'll show you what they are here. All right, these are soil sample testers. As you can see, it's just a tube they poke in the ground, fill it with dirt in this area, and then they drop the dirt into a bag, and then they test it to see what type of fertilizer materials and that they have to put on the yard. But we're building five more for him. That's a 20-foot stick of this tubing. So I'll show you a little bit about the process. All the cuts on the tube were made with this rigid pipe cutter here. What is it, a number 112? I can't read it, it's kind of beat up right there. Number 2, just a number 2. But anyway, that's what I cut all the pieces for these soil testers. It's 1.5 inches by 80 thousandths wall. I think that's what it is, tubing. And anyway, I coped all the copes I had to make. These are for the foot, push it in the ground, but we coped them all with this pipe notcher thing here. This is from Harbor Freight. It's been modified a couple times by me because it's kind of lightweight to begin with, but mostly where you put the hole saw on there, that snaps off every now and then. So I got to machine a new screw to hold the hole saw. But that's what I did to cope all these. Just run that hole saw through the edge of them. Puts a nice cope on. Working with stainless steel is always a pain in the rear, as anybody that's worked with it know. It's a beautiful material to weld, but it's not the best material to do any drilling or sawing in or cutting on. This slot, I'll show you how we drill these holes at the beginning and the end of the slot. Then we just plasma cut this chunk out of here and then polish it up with a little flap sander. But we'll take you down here. I'll show you my setup to drill them holes in the side of the pipe. I'm using my little LX329 mill to do this job. I got quite a fixture set up here to hold it up. The only thing bad about this mill that I just discovered in this job, I don't know, I've never done anything this long. If you lay something in this groove here, it hits, this is actually higher than the surface when it's laying down inside there, like this 1.5 inch pipe. So eventually I'm gonna machine these grooves out to the end of this bed on this mill. Anyway, we're set up here to drill them holes. We got our stops set here. I'm gonna crank it up and we'll drill one hole and let you guys watch here. Hope I don't get in the way too much on this. Alrighty, crank her up here. I'm running at 175 RPM on that drill. Seems to be a sweet spot for these hole saws. I'll run it down here to the next stop. It's actually 1.5 inches and 12 inches from the end to the outside of the hole. So that's where I'm set up right now anyway. This works a lot better than that tube notcher down there because it's more secure, stable base to drill through. The stainless steel can be really hard on hole saws. This one here seems to be holding up pretty good. Okay, we're at our stop here. Lock the table down, give her some oil. Pilot hole, drills a 1/4 inch pilot hole first. Then we hit the hole saw. Keep it well lubricated. By the way, this is an 1 3/8" hole saw. Go inside this tubing. Pretty close anyway to inside the tubing. Anyway, that's where we are now. I got one more of these to drill for the slot, and we'll bring you back when we get the plasma set up to cut that slot, and then we'll do a little polishing and welding. Well, here we are, ready to cut this slot in these tubes for our soil sample gun here, or whatever you want to call it. We're set up. We're going to use the Miller Spectrum 625 plasma cutter on this. I got a little guide set up here, a little piece of channel iron that the tubing is sitting in, and all I do is line up the center of my plasma tip with the edge of this hole, and I'll run it down here like this, turn it, cut it out again. What we'll do is we'll spray a little bit of this anti-splatter down both them holes to help the cleanup process afterwards. But I'll set you up off to the side here. I'm going to turn on my exhaust fan, so maybe a little noisy, but we need exhaust when we're doing this. We'll cut a few and show you how this comes out. Got a good ground directly to my workpiece. That's pretty important when you're doing this plasma cutting. Alrighty, here we go. Takes a little bit to get it lined up. In fact, we're going to flip this around, I think. Another cut. Just that quick. Cut that slot out. It's pretty slick. I'm gonna do this one more here. After the first couple, you kind of can get your spacing where you have to be off the guide there. Switch to a C-clamps there. Now we got a good clamp or a good ground through our clamp. Went a little fast on one of them and got stuck in there a little bit. Alright, I got a little tail there. Come back to that one. cleanup. Get them all cleaned up and then start the welding process. Alrighty, we got all of our soil testers cleaned up after plasma cutting the slot in them. Got all the materials right here. I can start welding. This is all the equipment I use to clean them. Got a grinder, flap sander, a couple die grinders, and an assortment of little flap wheels for the die grinders. Sure makes a mess, but that's the way to get them cleaned up inside good. So, but anyway, I thought I'd let you know we just hold them in this little pipe vise and grind away, clean them all up. They come out nice. Put a little bevel on the end of them there to sharpen them a little bit, but other than that, all the slots cleaned up nicely. We'll bring you back when we get around to welding them. Well, we've got the soil samplers all set up and ready to weld. We set up a little fixture stand here on my welding bench to pop them in and out of. We only have 5 to do, but the setup time and holding everything square is going to be made a lot easier by having this fixture set up here. But anyway, I'll prop you up over here and we'll tack one together and pop it out of the fixture, and we'll set another one in there. We'll see how well it goes. Oh, by the way, I'll be using my Miller Syncrowave. Set at about 90 amps. Welding with argon, pure argon gas. This is stainless steel we're welding today. I'll use 308 fill rod on it. But we'll get to going here and get a couple of them tacked together and see how it goes. Got a good tack on this one. Pop it out here and see what we got. Throw it back on the other side. finish welding after we get them all tacked together. But let's set another one up in here and see how repeatable my fixture is. Using the edge of the bench for a location spot there. Got this little angle iron, keep things square. And this should fit right down in here. That all looks good. Put our little foot support on here. Looks to be pretty repeatable. Rotate that a little to get the cope lined up. The clamp wants to twist it a little bit. All right. These a good check once, see if we're staying square. It's looking good. Looking good. All right. Two down, just tacked together. I got to do the finish welding on them, but we'll get these all tacked together and finish the welding out. Now bring you back when show you the finished products. All right, here we are with our soil sampler fabrication project done. They all came out nice. Got 5 of them out of it was a 19-foot 6-inch stick of this 1/2 inch, I think it's 080 wall stainless tubing. But I showed you my fixture to weld them all together. That worked out really well. Showed you me tacking a few of them together and putting the new ones in to tack them. All TIG welded. Nothing too spectacular. I didn't figure that was too interesting. So here's the original that was built, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago maybe. So we just copied that. But anyway, thanks for watching on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, like and subscribe and pass it on to somebody. Somebody might be interested to see soil samplers. My understanding about these is the person only has to do 1 poke in the ground compared to the commercially available ones that have to do 2 or 3 pokes in the ground because of the size of them. So that's my understanding of why we build these rather than purchase commercially available ones. But anyway, again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.